Welcome to Ignite Success, where we talk to the people about the places and the projects that fire us up. I'm your host, Suzie Becker, and I'm here with William Hogarty of Fitness Meals. Hi, William.
Hi, how are you?
I am well, thanks. Tell me in your words, how would you describe Fitness Meals?
We're the antidote to the modern day diet that kills 4,000 people a day from insulin resistance. And tragically, for the first time in history, we're killing the kids. We're going to outlive them due to the modern day diet.
Excellent. And so what would one do in order to access Fitness Meals, and what kind of game changer do you anticipate this to be for my family's lifestyle?
So thefitnessmeal.com is the website. I have high protein, low carbohydrate foods. I'm rolling out the first cookie in history, 16 grams of protein, 0 carbs, 0 sugar, and it tastes amazing on the first. And these foods are half price of McDonald's delivered to your door. I have people that have lost 10 pounds by eating 1 burrito a day because they're such high fiber. So think of healthy fast food for half price delivered to your door, world-class nutrition.
Wow. So what made you become passionate about this area and want to really engage with other people and bring this to them at such an affordable price, such an easily to access way, and right to your door? I don't have to leave my own home? Tell me more.
So I've been in the industry for 42 years. I'm a food scientist. I
find that hard to believe because you look very, very young. So it must be because you're doing the right thing.
Blood flow. Blood flow is everything. So I have worked out 30,000 hours, and the more blood flow you have, the better you feel, the better everything is. And about 8 years ago, I was horrified at big pharma and big food. They do not care about people. Doctors are paid to write prescriptions. And if you modify your diet, you don't need drugs. I have many clients that were on insulin, and they're off insulin now just by moderating the carbohydrates. And it's tragic. I mean, for the first time in history, we're going to outlive our kids. That's not okay. It's child abuse. And it's all about the modern day diet. High carbohydrates, lots of preservatives, lots of sugar, and it's very addictive. And it's very tragic what's going on. And I'm the antidote. I have a YouTube channel. I do daily content. And I lead by example. I'm 60 years old. I'm 225 pounds. I'm 8% body fat. My A1C is 5.1. My blood pressure is 115/75. Resting glucose is 78. So I lead by example. I have 3 beautiful children.
The talk.
That's what I'm doing.
Wonderful. Now, what would be the biggest barrier for people? Why would they think that this is not as accessible as it is?
They're BS.
BS stands for 2 things. Mostly telling yourself.
BS stands for 2 things, your belief systems. And we're taught early on in our childhood that don't spill the milk, don't do this, don't do that. And there's so much advertising out there. People believe things because they hear it all the time. And 99% of it is garbage. And the food industry is not to help people. And big pharma is not to help people. It's to make money. And it's tragic what's going on. And so what happens is people's belief systems get in their own way. Let me give you, for instance, I've been drinking Diet Coke for 42 years. My blood work doesn't lie. But sometimes people, I heard it's bad for you. No, sugar's bad for you. Diet Coke, the sweeteners are inert. They don't do anything. 4,000 people will die today from insulin resistance, cancer, diabetes, and heart disease. Nobody's dying from Diet Coke. And what does belief system stand for? BS. But what is BS? You know the bad word that goes with it. 99% of our belief systems are bullshit.
My daughter had a first grade teacher who used to say, practice makes permanent. It doesn't make it perfect. So if you've gotten the wrong information your entire life and you keep hearing that repetition of the information, you convince yourself that it must be true. It's much more difficult to believe that the world around us is not working with us. They're working against us, so to speak. And when you mention big pharma and fast food world, that's a great example of ways that we can organically and naturally reframe our mindset so that system of beliefs The beauty is that the brain is just like every other muscle. Neuroplasticity gives you the ability to change what your belief system is if you only do that research and you open your mind to growth mindset. So would it be a difficult transition if I'm someone who doesn't necessarily eat healthfully regularly, and I wasn't modeled this behavior by my parents? Would it be something that I could then start, put into practice as a parent, and then is this something that I'm encouraging my children just by modeling that behavior?
Leading by example is everything, but tragically, 80% of the population is overweight. More than half that is obese. So these people, with all due respect, don't have the right to tell their children what to eat because they're not doing it right. And it's very, very simple. Lower your carbohydrates and increase your protein. It's very simple. I have clients lose 40 pounds just by changing coffee creamer from a coffee creamer to a protein drink. They put chocolate protein drink in their coffee. It tastes better and lose 40 pounds.
Oh, wow.
It is very easy, simple little things, but people got caught up. It's got to be a big diet or crash or whatever. I tell people, walk twice a week. Start there. Eat one burrito a day. Don't do drastic things. Do basic baby steps. You'll be very surprised. But tell a mother she's abusing her child by the diet, she'll be offended. But what's happening now is I have a YouTube channel on getting massive traction because it's not fair to the kids anymore. We have a right as their parents not to hurt them. And the modern day diet is hurting them.
Well, I have to say that I appreciate your unrelenting expression of what has happened in the last few decades. And it's going to take probably a little bit more time to unravel all that, but this is a great first step, and you've made all of that easy to access, so I don't have to do the calculation. I don't have to figure out what those ratio of protein to carbohydrate to fat is. I can spend my time doing my job, which is living my life, while I become more informed and educated, but at the same time, I'm already doing the right things and making the right choices, thanks to Fitness Meal.
Let me use, for instance, organic. People want to buy organic because they believe it's good for them. 90% of the certificates organic are fake. Nobody's dying from organic or the lack thereof. It's the biggest scam there is, but there's so much money behind it. It's protein versus carbohydrates. That's what matters. And I got USDA approval to get keto on a label. First company's ever done that. And it's comforting to clients because they don't have to read the label, because most of us rely on our medical doctor, right? They're the experts. Are they? They studied nutrition 20, 30 years ago. They're prescribing drugs. That's not the answer. The answer is to change the modern day diet. Make little baby steps.
Behavior modification.
Well, I think it has to be easy. Like my food tastes amazing. If I had a product that made you live to 150 and look 20 and it didn't taste good, nobody'd eat it. So part of the problem is a lot of quote unquote health foods. What is healthy? Has to be half protein, half carbohydrates. That's what makes it healthy. Okay. There are so many protein bars on the market that have such high carbohydrates, and there's just this lack of information about what is truly healthy. We've got increased protein and lower carbohydrates, and it's got to taste great.
Well, I appreciate the effort that you've put into engaging with our communities and our families in an effort to elevate their health and the information that they have access to. Thank you, William.
My pleasure. And I'm 60. I like having the energy of a 20-year-old. I travel the entire weekend, and having the energy that I have and having the appearance, it's a game changer. I went to a celebrity event this weekend, and quite frankly, I rocked it. And it's appearance, because discipline, everybody respects that. And it's amazing. I unfortunately, about 4 years ago, gained 60 pounds. I was drinking. I was in a bad marriage. I felt horrible, and society treated me very differently, unbelievably different. I've never been on that end of it, and it gave me tremendous passion and empathy for people that are struggling with their weight, 80% of the population. And look at the kids. We got kids with all sorts of problems with anxiety and all these things. And the lack of confidence that comes from a child that's overweight is tragic. We don't treat it with drugs. We treat it with exercise and proper diet.
I agree with you. Thank you so much, William. I appreciate your time today. If you want to
My
find
pleasure.
out more about William Hogarty and Fitness Meals, you can visit us at dailynewsnetwork.com. I'm your host, Suzie Becker. Stay inspired and inspiring.